So, I don't know if you heard about this, but Batman v Superman came out. So here's the big question. Is it good? Apparently not. But this didn't deter me. I went to go see it anyways, and well, now I regret it. I deeply, deeply regret it. And I don't know why. We knew what we were getting into. We knew this was a movie just about two people punching each other. It was even on the poster they gave me when I bought the ticket. The movie is even set up like a series of punches to the face. I don't know if that was intentional, but somewhere along the line, they messed up because every scene was its own plot point, and they were all loosely connected together. So just to cope with what I have just seen, I'm going to review this movie and try to figure out where it all went wrong. Also, spoilers! All the spoilers! I don't know if I'm going to say any, but
if we believe there's even a 1% chance, we have to take it as an absolute certainty.
So the fight seems to be very short for a movie called Batman v Superman. And I think this is because the movie spent so much time trying to be a trailer for future things that the final fight has to share screen time with the shoehorned-in Death of Superman story arc. Oh yeah, spoilers alert for the Death of Superman comic. Superman dies at the end. Also, the fight might be the worst part of the movie. Superman's only there because Lex Luthor kidnapped his mom and told him to fight Batman. So Superman isn't even trying here. Batman, on the other hand, only wins out of pure luck. And it's not because Superman isn't trying. No, there are clear problems with his plan here. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because throughout this movie, Batman is built up as this hyper-intelligent ninja. So when his opening move is some guns, some bombs, and one punch, it feels like he has no idea what he's doing, even though he had the whole movie to learn what Superman is capable of. And yes, he found kryptonite and used kryptonite, but that's the only reason he gets the upper hand. And then okay, so Zach came to the stunning realization that both Clark's mother and Bruce Wayne's mother are both named Martha. I know, right? Mind blown. So Superman gets out of this by saying the name Martha, which causes Batman to break down, so they can both fight Doomsday, and then Wonder Woman shows up, and at this point all I can see is a green monster and a bright light surrounded by a darkness, and now my eyes hurt. But I think the bigger problem here is Batman's change of heart. Because throughout this movie, he's been calm, cool, and collective. But by the end of it, he seems to have lost his mind. He's just all like, yes, I get to fight Superman. Yes, let's fight, fight, fight. And yes, I know Batman's a nutjob, but he's a nutjob because of his determination to fight crime. Once he puts on that mask, he basically suppresses all emotions. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm talking so much about Batman. Well, that's because he's the most developed character throughout this movie. The only thing developing Superman is Henry Cavill's performance, which is spot on, by the way. And I'm pretty sure the only person to share the same amount of screen time as Batman is Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. What do you know? Everything is going to the 1%. Or maybe it has something to do with... Now, as I said, the plot points in this movie are about as connected as a bunch of random pins on a bulletin board. Kind of like this list, actually. Plus, the movie is put on fast forward for some reason, which doesn't take away from the audience's understanding of what's going on, but it does mean you get no emotional attachment to these characters. Plus, the whole Batman looking at the Batsuit thing means nothing in context of the movie, and I have no idea what this girl's deal was. When she's talking with Lex, she's for Superman. When she's talking to anyone else, she's against Superman. It just makes no sense to me. Now, I actually think there was a good idea behind this, and under the right direction, it could have been very good. All they had to do was connect two of these points. Imagine if we saw Bruce helping Scott's character in the beginning of this movie, and we didn't see him again until the hearing later, and then the whole place blew up. Little things like that would have saved this movie, but instead, I'm diagnosing it with Transformers 2-itis. So everything I've mentioned so far are just the standards you'd expect a movie like this to meet. But most critics seem to think that the reason for this is because the movie is too crowded. I, however, don't think this is the case. I think the movie could have easily handled all of these characters and storylines and more. The problem is that the movie tries to focus on every character all at once, and as a result, the movie doesn't flow. But rather than focusing on storytelling, the writers decided to focus on explaining everything when it clearly wasn't necessary. I see why they did this. They were trying to make a film universe to rival that of Marvel. But here's the thing, this movie is not the Justice League. It's set up. A Justice League movie would be a team movie, which would use its first half to establish the team, and then focus on the plot. A sequel to Man of Steel would be a solo movie, which would focus on the struggles of that one character. Batman v Superman would tell a parallel story about these two characters' conflict. This movie tried to be all free and focused on nothing. Since this movie is set up, they should have just focused on any one character. I'd even accept Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Now, I know a lot of people want a more comic-accurate Lex Luthor, but you gotta admit, watching a lunatic meticulously plan out every event in this movie to get Batman and Superman to fight each other would be amazing. If I was writing it, I would have just focused on Superman and done a reversal of The Dark Knight Returns, where Superman must now learn how to use his powers to save Metropolis and the world as Batman plans out a way to kill him. But hey, what do I know? I'm just an asshole on the internet.